If you want to increase your win rate to over 70%, you need to implement this one game-changing rule that will turn a struggling trader to consistently profitable. This is something I get all the traders to do in the Moneyball trading program. When we do our one-on-ones and we review all their trades, time and time and time again, they come back with these results, and I'm here to share with you what they are. Well, my friends, it all comes down to the concept of arrivals. There are good arrivals and bad arrivals. And I'm here today to break down the whole thing so that you can become a better trader. Stay with me till the end, and I'm going to share with you a supply and demand ebook going over the whole trading strategy, as well as a video on my exact trading setup and my exact trading strategy in 10 minutes or less. I would appreciate if you guys take this time to like the video, subscribe, and if you guys have any questions, you guys can always reach out to me in the comments below or on social media at Moneyball Austin. Let's get into it. Okay, those intros are always a joy to make. Now it's just me and you bonding over this wonderful experience. I've been giggling to myself for the last couple of minutes because being under attacked in the TikTok comments that I left on some video, and people coming after me. And what I'll say this, I'll share the story another time, but not all monkeys are black, okay? Not all monkeys are black. It's racist to assume that all monkeys are black. There are white monkeys, there are gray monkeys, there are brown monkeys, there are black monkeys. Okay, anyway, that's a story for another day. Okay, let's get into it. Let's talk about arrivals, because this is something that I did a review on early on in my trading, and this was like a night and day difference where like 75% of my winning trades had clean arrivals versus poor arrivals, where I was losing like 75% of my trades when prices had a poor arrival. So let's just dive straight into it about ideally what I want to see before I enter a trade while trading, obviously, the supply and demand trading strategy. Okay. So let's just take this coffee as an example, this analysis right here. What I don't want to see, we're going to get into like 10 different examples and I'm going to rapid fire them just so that you understand, because that's a major thing in my trading, but it's very easy to understand. I get people asking me all the time, what's the concept? What's the concept? This is the first video I'm talking about it. So let's get into it. When it comes to my entry time frame, I want prices to come straight back into my zone of where I am getting long or short. So in this example, coffee, we're not going to talk about the whole top-down analysis. I have other great videos, but let's just say I want to short this zone if and when prices return back up into this supply zone, okay? It's a very nice zone. It broke upward trend line. It's removed multiple opposing demand zones over here. It has a very strong imbalance to the downside that's letting me know a lot of sellers came into the market. So this is a good zone that I like. Now, I'm not saying I'm taking this or anything. I'm just using it as an example because it's right here, okay? How prices come back into my zone is extremely important because we want to make sure we have a clean arrival. We do not want, I'm going to repeat this, we do not want opposing zones being created before prices come back into my zone. So what I want to see is from this area right here, ideally I want to see prices come straight back up within 2, 3, 4 candlesticks. What I do not want to see is prices coming up, basing out for 2, 3, 4 candlesticks, and then coming back up to my entry of where I would get short at. Because this area now that just created an opposing zone is blocking my profit margin. And a lot of the time when I reviewed my trades and I review everybody else's trades when I do a one-on-one, a lot of the time and time again, they come back to me and they say, wow, this is 100%, like, this is correct. It's true. Like, when prices have a poor arrival, it's a lot higher chance that the trade is going to be a losing trade. So if prices base out here before prices come back into my zone of where I get short, and it creates this opposing zone, prices now have to work through this area to potentially get down into my take profit. But more times than not, it will come back down, touch that area of opposing zone, and continue higher, okay, which is blocking my profit margin. So I want to see prices come straight back up into it, either to the upside or to the downside, depending if I'm getting long or short. So I'm going to bring through a couple examples here, okay? And this is a frequently asked question, but I'm going to answer it here because this is a question asked all the time. This guy was asking me here, hey, I hear you mentioning clean arrivals versus poor arrivals. Can you please go into a little bit more detail? This is from an old post here in the Discord. And I mentioned here is a quick photo of clean arrivals versus poor arrivals look at. Most traders will find when they review that clean arrivals work better than poor arrivals because price does not need to remove an opposing zone that's cutting the profit margin. This is something I would tell traders to seriously review after 20 to 40 trades. 9 times out of 10 when I do this, they all come back to me and they're like, yeah, it's true. You want clean arrivals. Now, yes, you are going to take less trades, but you are going to have a lot higher win rate. I want that higher win rate, right? I don't want to be losing all the time. Nobody likes losing. Could you imagine cheering for a losing team your entire career, your whole life? I don't stay loyal to a sports team. I like to jump around. I want to cheer for the winning team. It's fun and exciting knowing that, hey, yeah, my team's going to win, right? That's fun. I know you guys can relate to that. So here is what I mean. And we're going to dive into several more examples. So here is this demand zone that this trader was looking at to buy. And this is the demand zone. So notice how prices, we're not talking about the whole top-down analysis or why it's a good zone, but notice how prices are coming back into it. I'm going to look over here. Look here. Notice how it's coming straight back into it and he gets filled over here. Okay, that is a clean arrival. That's price coming straight down into it. Versus, if we look over here on this trade, prices come down and then they base, and then they drop. Well, now this is just cutting my profit margin. You can actually see prices did eventually come back and rally up through it and respect it and dropped below. So that's cutting my profit margin. I wouldn't want to enter a trade that's offering me a 1-to-1 trade. I want to get out of the 2-to-1 or 3-to-1 or look to manage my position after a 1.5-to-1 or 2-to-1. You know what I mean? Move my stop to break even. But if it's offering me only a 1-to-1 and I'm not okay with that, then I don't want to enter that trade. So this is price dropping down, then base, drop. Ideally, what I want is prices to drop straight down like that, where it offers me a wide range of profit opportunity. Okay, so I'm going to look at this, and I showed you guys some stats on the screen. I'll, in fact, pop them open right now. And you guys can see that for yourself. And I'm going to look at these trades. Let me look at this. I have this up right here because you learn through repetition. You don't learn by looking at 1 or 2 examples. You learn by looking at a couple. Okay. So once again, I'm not going to get into the whole top-down analysis of why I'm long or short because I have many other great videos talking about that. But here is a good demand zone that I really liked. Okay. Really nice demand zone, buying with an uptrend, very strong quality zone. Notice the arrival. Notice how prices come straight back into it. Okay. Price isn't dropping, base, dropping, cutting my profit margin. Okay. Let's go look at another one. Like I said, we're going to rapid fire through these. Here is another one of clean arrivals. The next couple are poor arrivals so that you guys can look at what that looks like because you want practice with what a poor arrival looks like. Price, we have our demand zone, our setup right here. Price is coming straight back down. All right, that's what we want to see. Okay, and we're buying the pullback with a pending order right there, but we have no opposing zones being created versus here. So this is a trade. I think this is with Jam Laveau. I took a couple because he was one of the traders I did a one-on-one review with. So I just took like 3 or 4 of his trades as an example. So here was a short position that he was getting in and it won. But notice how prices rallied up, base, then rally. Well, then this is cutting my profit margin right here. And you can see how prices actually reacted off this area and held for quite some time. I want that easy money. I don't want to have to struggle for these winning trades or anything like that, right? So that would be a poor arrival, and I would not want to be interested in taking that as a trade, okay? Let's look at another one. This right here. Let me grab my snipping tool. I want you guys to share this to your friends because if they're trading supply and demand, I guarantee you they will increase their win rate by at least 20% if they implement this rule. If you have your trades journaled, you need to look at the last 30 trades and look at this rule to see if you notice anything different because chances are there probably is a massive difference, okay? as long as you're taking good quality setups. I mean, I know some people say I took a really good trade and I look at it, it's horrible. But you guys can always reach out for help, and ask me for pointers and trade reviews. That's no problem. At Moneyball Austin, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Reach out to me anytime. So here's another example. He was buying on this pullback, but notice how prices come back. They drop, base, 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 drop. Okay, cuts through the profit margin and ends up blowing through the zone. And you can actually see prices actually came back up and respected that area. So that's what I mean by poor arrival. We're going to look at 2 or 3 more so that you guys understand this, because you guys learn through repetition, and it's not a 30-minute video, it's probably a 12-minute video. Okay, here we go. And again, very nice supply zone that he's selling up in here, but notice how prices come back up. They rally, base, 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 rally. Okay, and then prices, he gets filled into his trade, price comes down, touches it, gives him a headache. Yes, it was eventually a winner. Congratulations to him. But I will flash that screen, that picture again of everybody. And you'll notice a lot of these trades have a winning arrival, a clean arrival. And once again, this is what it would look like as a clean arrival. We have that set up. All right, very nice supply zone right here. And notice how prices come straight back up into it. Okay, it's not grinding back up into it like this. It's not creating opposing zones going into it, which is blocking my profit margin, right? Now, obviously, trading at good quality zones help this a lot, right? I have a video on this that will also show on the screen, but I will have in the description below. In fact, I'll just show you guys, talking about what a good zone has versus a poor zone. And in fact, if you go to my tips playlist on my YouTube, I will have that in the description below. There's a whole course video talking about the supply and demand trading strategy, as well as my exact top-down analysis in under 10 minutes or less, how to trade a good zone versus poor zone. Okay, these are all great videos. It's called the tips playlist. I'll have that down below. Now, I did mention a free ebook as well. You guys can get that, moneyballtrading.com. That will be in the description below as well, where you can get that ebook. And you're also going to learn about how to actually fast track your learning into becoming a profitable trader, why 90% of the traders are losing money, and what the profitable traders are doing versus a losing trader. Okay, all that will be sent to you by email. I appreciate if you guys like the video, subscribe, and I will have a video to what a good zone has, the top 3 things in the top right corner of this video, right? And I'll see you guys in the next one. Cheers. Bye-bye.